For down
I don't know. You tell me, brother.
Downturn.
downturn. There we go. Ding ding ding. We use that. I am tired now. Sam
Yeah.
Houston, what's going on?
What? They coming back?
They about to lose. It's the last play, 4th and 15.
Oh, you talking about football?
Oh
I thought
yeah,
you talking about.
Sam Houston.
Yeah. He said
Oh,
Yeah,
Houston.
and
Sam
gets back.
Houston.
Ball game.
Mm. All right. Then we have NFL Week 7. Man, it was another bloodbath. We got beat up pretty good. We'll talk about the recap. If you're listening, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button just before we jump in. If you want to learn how to bet, if you want to win bets, you got to follow us. We don't want to welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pot Betting and Money Pot Podcast. I am your host. I am the CEO. I'm the president. They call me Moss Money. And I got my gods of betting above me to serenade us with their wisdom and letting us know what are the best bets for NFL Week 7. I got the bros. I got the homies. I got the money team. Diddy, Sharp, what's up, boys?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
I'm on the up and up, man. We had a great college pod. So if you guys need some college football plays, make sure you go and check out all those shows and all those plays. We went in depth. Like I said, I don't think we're going to lose a bet on that thing, or if not, we're going to be hitting at a high clip. So pretty excited to see what you guys have today, because I don't got shit. My shit.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
It's a tough week. I found some things.
I'm gonna keep it a B. My shit. I'm looking at it. I got 3 things. Waiting for some of these prop bets to drop. Because I think I'm gonna be heavy on the props. I mean, me and Sharp were talking in the background. And I think Diddy, you would agree. The lines are actually, really sharp. They're really sharp this week. So not a lot of value to pick from, but this is why we do what we do, because we're gonna find that value for you guys. Each of us have some picks and some plays. So we'll go through it. But first, as always, we'll hit the recap. We got to do it. Stay honest with ourselves and make sure that you guys know how we've been betting throughout the season. So let me zoom in. Always start with the lead dog first. I'll start with myself. Had a bad week. We talked about it. My God bet of Jake Elliott took a hit because he missed the field goal, and then he only had 1 field goal. First time this year, so I missed on that. The Thielen bet was a great bet. I wish I would have went in on that bet. We talked about how much we liked it, but we really didn't really go in. We just took the receptions, but his reception is yards, over 100 yards. We should have went in on it. Had 2 units on that. I had Jalen Hurts over his rushing yards as well. That hit, but DJ Moore, like you said, Diddy, can't trust Fields. Burnt me, DJ Moore. San Fran first half burnt me, and they lost outright. And obviously, the big one, the Birds, got upset and lost to the Jets. And I think I mean, this not a reoccurring theme of me saying this, but Diddy said it before. It was a trap game. It was such a trap game. Didn't see it, didn't want to believe it. I think I was feeling like Sharp in the chat. Guys, come on. It's the Jets. That's what I can hear it in my voice. I can hear it. Come on, guys. Like, come on, it's the Jets. But it was the Jets, and the Jets did what the Jets do in certain spots, and they got to win. So the number right now hit me, got kind of good, got beat up on the win-loss. So I'm down almost about 50% in terms of 50% win rate. But we're still up on the profit on after a horrific, was at 2-4 week, losing 4 or 5 units. So still up and up, which is good, but win percentage is starting to take a hit. So this is where most kind of regular people are, around that 49, 48% a little bit. So I got to get back in the winning track. So hopefully I do with these plays. Let's keep it going. Diddy, I You gotta double check me on. I think you lost the teasers, but I think you had a tough week too. Indy lost. Them Lions came through for you, of course. But that
I'm
was
about to just
better
bet
than
Lions. I'm just gonna just
last week. I don't know if you're tired. The voice is raspy, but that
voice
was
is
better than
raspy.
last week. It's so bad though. The
I
Rams.
love the clip though. I love the clip. Hold
Oh
on,
yeah,
Larry.
yeah,
Let me
yeah,
double check.
yeah.
I'm double checking right now. What you got up there for
Um,
me?
the Rams team total missed on you, and then you got to double check those teasers. I thought because Philly lost, you missed on these, and so with the Niners. But just double check me on that. I think the 3-team won, but the 4-teamer, the monster teaser, I'm not 100% sure on that one. But double check me on that. Uh,
So the the 4-teamer won. I had San Fran +7. I had
Yeah.
okay.
Miami. I had Miami -0.5. I had Detroit +10, and I had Buffalo -1.
Oh wow, I wrote the whole. I had Philly, Seattle. Fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know what you got
That was
down there.
probably my super. That was my super teaser, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You said Niners, Detroit.
Yeah, I had Niners, Detroit, Buffalo, and Miami in a 4-team teaser that cashed. The 3-team teaser unders all cashed too. I believe it was Tennessee, Baltimore under 50.5, Houston, New Orleans under 52.5, and New England, Las Vegas under 51.5. That
I,
cashed also.
I don't even have that one.
Yeah,
What was it?
and that's
Tennessee. Go ahead.
yep. And then I lost the 3-team teaser, which was the San Fran one, right? They didn't cover this. They lost by how
Yeah,
much?
they lost by I think 3 or
Right.
something like that.
So at that 3-team teaser I lost. And the 2-team teaser with the Phillies and with the Eagles and the 49ers.
Uh,
Teased out.
teaser football.
Some weeks
Okay.
it's gonna be like this. Some weeks are gonna be those just gonna be dog weeks, you know. You just hope that you're on that side. And this was a tough place to see that though. This is really, really tough. I think the Eagles is gonna lose like that, and I think the Niners is gonna lose like that. I don't think anybody really saw it.
I
Well,
mean, to me, it was Jake Elliott shanking a short field goal to miss his prop. Devontae Smith wide open. You knew he was going to be highly involved. Drops 3 passes to lose his prop. Like, I mean, there was Colorado blowing a 29-0 lead and having there was just some games that were losing is one thing. Just making a bad bet. Like, I'd rather do that than some of the ways we lost this week.
it was a perfect storm. Everything that should have went one way didn't. It went the other way. I don't remember it ever happening like this. We all talk about that.
Yeah.
We know that it happens, but the fact that we were all on the bets that had the funkiness to it, it was just yeah,
Yeah.
it was a sight to see. So
Moss,
um
what is that one right second from the bottom? What is that one?
well, it was your under. You said Tennessee. I don't know what else. I didn't catch the rest of it.
Yeah,
Your
that was
under
green.
teaser.
They won. That should be green.
Oh, that one should be green. Okay.
Yes.
Oh shit. All right. So we'll make
Yep.
this 1.3. All right. So looking at the number, still healthy. Win percentage 60%. That's where we want to be. Total profit is still 7 units, even though we had a bad week. And that's the thing. We're still up on our profits, even though we had bad weeks. Sharp, you weren't on the pod, but I did take time to update you from all the stuff that we had. I got your AJ Brown. You had the Eagles a couple down, Seattle, Ridley. I spelled his name wrong, but Ridley, CD Lamb. Then you got hit on the double back B Rob ones. Then your teaser with Tennessee and Cincy. Yeah, then you ran back again the next week. I think that was week 5 or 6 with Seattle and then the
Yeah.
Birds was a loss last week. I know there was a teaser with we closed. I know you had 2 big teasers. You had 3 big teasers. You had 2 teasers. I remember it was your third one you had lost when the crossover, but I forget what it landed
The
on.
crossover lost because I took the 2 best teams in the league and I teased them down. They at the time I actually won those because at the time we had, I think the Niners were only -6 and the Eagles were -6, I want to say. So I actually hit on that. But what killed me, remember, that's where I pushed UMass to 55.5. And I said, if Penn State beats them 56-0, then I lose.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. So they sunk that teaser. I think my NFL Super Teaser actually did hit. That's the one you were reading off on Diddy's ledger. That was mine. I actually had Seattle, Eagles, Niners, but in the Super Teaser it hit. And then I had the Thursday night game. I took the underdog, the Broncos. I gave that out early in the week. I took a bunch of dogs. I had Broncos.
49ers. And what was the last one? Philly, Seattle, 49ers, and
Yeah, I just got lucky that I got that early when it was 6. So the Super Teaser got both Niners and Eagles at 7. And then I had Broncos teased way up and Seattle teased way up.
All right. So let's get it right. Let's make sure we get it right. What was that?
That was my only NFL. And then I lost Devontae Smith's prop. Prop bet.
That's right. And then that was what, a 2 or 3 unit play? I forget. Or 1 unit.
The teaser was a 5-unit play. Devontae Smith was a 3-unit play.
3 unit. Minus 3. And then we'll just put, because we know he won, we'll just put teaser. Because we want to get to the bets that she hit.
Yeah.
Minus 140.
Yeah.
5 units win 5. All right. But I think you're still pretty healthy because you had the big numbers before with the 20-unit plays that got you way up. So this is printing money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over $5,000 in total profit this year.
It's been the opposite. My NFL season's been the opposite of college. I've lost my big college bets. I've won my big NFL bets, and that's the way I bet. That's how my seasons are going to go, honestly.
Yeah. So this is where we want to be. We want to be collectively over 60%. So I need to get my ass in gear and catch up with you boys. But great number at 65%, 13-7. We said it in the college game. I said in the college pod, when you bet big, you win big, and if you bet big, you can lose big too. But on this side of the pond, on what the NFL betting big is paying off well. So you know, one thing that I noticed with all our bets, we don't have that many pushes. Like it's either win or lose, right? Mm-hmm. Like it hasn't been a lot of pushes. Either the handicap is spot on or we just missed on the cap. Like there's not like, it hasn't been like, oh, that was close. Like I haven't really seen it. Even the teasers, none of the teasers are pushed. It's either just outright losses or not, which is kind of, I feel like that's a little bit weird. Like you only have one push. I think, Diddy, you had one push that I might not have recorded at one point. I might have one push, but it's just crazy. As many bets, over 100 bets, more than likely across all three of us, to not have more than 3 pushes is just, insane. So, but like I said, if you bet us blind, I always say this: you bet us blind straight across the board. That's 5 units. That's 6 units. You're a winner. 52 units. You're up $6,000 on NFL alone, which is insane. But this is our bankroll. Manage your own bankroll. Do what's right for you. Understand what your scope is and how much you can afford to lose and win, et cetera, et cetera. If you have any issues or problems, those are 1-800-GAMBLER. The call if you have any problems. So make sure you guys do that if you do. All right. I think that's the first time I've ever said that. It just popped in my head. Yeah. Let's get to the bets.
I like it.
We are going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to be using FanDuel because FanDuel has some more of the player props out. Now, I kind of kept it a bean.
Hold on, Moss. Before we get going and start giving out these free money plays,
you
gotta definitely hit that subscribe button. You gotta definitely hit that like button. And you gotta definitely hit that bell so you can get that reminder, so you can get that cash week in and week out. He showed you the stats. There are no lies behind it. We give the receipts. Follow us. We know what we're talking about. But you can't do that without giving us a little bit of respect by hitting that like, subscribe, and that bell. So please do it from the bottom of my heart.
It's crazy, man.
So we can keep it going. That's all we
want. Thousands of people Thousands
All
of
right.
people see this
We
motherfucking
see
thing,
you
man.
watching us. Don't
We
watch
see
from
you.
afar. Come
Yeah,
in. Come in.
for sure. Big facts. Big facts. All right. Anybody got anything on this Thursday night game? I know the
I do.
Oh, okay, good. I know the conversation or the storyline behind this is whether Trevor Lawrence is going to be playing or not. I know he did not practice today, at least, or maybe he did some walkthrough, but I'm going to say if he didn't practice today, I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. I would think this line would shift, and it looks like it shifting a little bit. But Thursday night, Jacksonville, New Orleans. New Orleans is favorite -1.5. Total is 39.5. Diddy said you got something on it, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. I think you guys are right. This is a tight card. The lines are really sharp this week, so it's one of them things you really got to dig for some gems out of here. The best gem I got here is looking at Jacksonville's team total, and
Mm,
I like the team total under against one of the top rated defenses in the NFL, and that's New Orleans Saints. Um, and then when you're looking at them, they have a few players that are out this week so far. Let me just take a look here.
that's it.
You got
19.5.
Jaguars under nine. Yeah, so Jaguars 19.5 team total under would be my play. This is probably going to be like a close to 3 unit play for me.
Mm,
I know Lawrence may be iffy, but if you haven't practiced, you haven't practiced. But the Jaguars have Lawrence, Zay Jones, Walker Little, which is a left guard, right guard Brandon Sheriff, right guard. And cornerback Tyson Campbell. All big question marks in a short week. Uh, New Orleans, right? They go get you. Um, New Orleans is one of the best defenses in the NFL right now. Kind of knew that coming into the season because they've always kind of trended on that uptick. So I like New Orleans here to slow this offense down. And Jacksonville hasn't really been throwing up no points that much this year. So um, give me the Saints and give me that trust in the Saints defense to hold whoever's going to be at quarterback, whether it's Trevor Lawrence or not, um, under control. Saints are third in total yards, fifth against the pass, ninth against the rush, sixth against total points, only averaging 16 points per game. And you're going to tell me that Jacksonville is going to go into New Orleans without their starting quarterback, possibly? Yeah. Give me team total under Jacksonville.
yeah, this game just I I it's hard to play in New Orleans. It's going to be loud, and my cap would be based off if Lawrence plays. But even if he is, he's still going to be hobbled with a bum leg. He's not going to be able to move. I don't know which leg it is. Is it the drive leg? Is it the back leg? Or that's all that stuff is kind of important to understand because it'll change the way how he throws the ball. So I like the handicap. I like the spot. I would lean to the under as well. I just need to confirm that Lawrence is out for me to bet it.
So I've got 3 bets in this game,
Oh shit. All right, go ahead. Run
and
them
they're
down,
all
baby.
fall in line. They all fall in line with Diddy. So
Okay.
here's the thing. So you know how football is, right? San Francisco Eagles came out firing. What happened last week? They came back to earth. That's just how football goes. You guys know as players, you're never as high as you think you are. You're never as low as you think you are, but you just kind of ride the wave. That's how the football season goes. Well, let's look at the Jags. They got off to a struggle start, right? And then they went on a 2-week trip essentially to London. They upset the Bills and they dominated the Falcons. Then they come back home, blow out a division rival in Indy. So guess what? That's 3 big games in a row for them. Emotional wins, had to get it, turn their season around. Well, they're due for a letdown. Now it's a short week. They're banged up on the road, and they're playing a Saints team who just came off a devastating loss that they almost felt like they had to have against a rookie QB. Now the Saints are coming home. Defense is going to be traveling. I don't think Lawrence is going to play, but even if he plays, he's going to be under siege, and he's not going to be able to run. You kill his mobility, you kill some of their team. Man, this Saints in a great spot. I love Saints -120 money line here. This is a 3-unit play for me. This is a must win for the Saints. I think each week Derek Carr's shoulders looking a little better. And I think with Tyson Campbell out, he might be able to push the ball down the field and actually find Chris Olave at home. Weather's not going to be a factor. And another bet I like here in this game is Alvin Kamara. Since he's come back, it's pretty obvious what's happening here. He literally, his 3 games back, he's had 25 targets in 3 games with 23 catches. His props 4.5. I love the Saints to win here. The only time he didn't go over this prop is when they beat the brakes off the Patriots 2 weeks ago and they started resting him in the second half and put in Kendre Miller, who had 5 receptions on his own. So the running back in this offense catches the ball a lot. Give me Alvin Kamara over 4.5 receptions. This is a 2-unit prop play for me. And then we could talk about the teasers, but I love the under, and I'm going to be teasing this game up in a super teaser up to 53 and taking the under.
Yeah, I like that. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be tight for sure.
So on FanDuel, I can't give you the 3.5. The 3.5 is juiced up crazy. It's minus 186. But you said 4.5, so.
Yeah, I'm talking 4.5. I don't want the juiced money. I'd rather take the 4.5 at 110.
Yeah, I'm saying, can you alternate receptions for Kamara?
Something else to look
There
at
should
too.
be. It's up on FanDuel. Alvin Kamara 4.5 plus 110. It's plus 110.
On FanDuel or DraftKings?
DraftKings.
Okay. Yeah, the 4.5. I mean, I would think the number here is better, right? Because you're getting 5 and you're getting plus 102. I mean, you got to get 5 to hit the bet. So I mean, the bet is actually pretty good here, right?
I like the 4.5 just in case. I do think this game could be one where, especially if Lawrence doesn't play, I could see this game being ugly and Kamara coming out early because they've beaten the brakes off him. So that's my one reason I don't want that 5. I love the 4.5 plus 110 on DraftKings. I know it's up right now.
And on top of that, I don't think Alvin Kamara is going to have success running the football.
Come on. You need the 5 though to hit the bet.
Yeah. I thought you were saying 5 is a push on FanDuel. I can't see on the screen. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you would be right. I guess if you only hit 5, you would do the push. Okay, my bad. That's my fault.
You see what I'm saying? I'd rather get the 5 hits versus 5 pushes. You'd rather get
the 5. Yeah, catch the 5 pushes. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
Just in case Lawrence doesn't play and this game gets out of hand early and the Saints are just killing them.
Yeah. My bad. You're right. Okay.
So, yeah, I like the Saints minus 120 money line for 3 units, and I like Alvin Kamara over 4.5 receptions for 2 units. And then, again, my big NFL teaser, which we can give out later, will be pushing this game up and taking the under. So I'm right there with you, Diddy, on the handicap.
Yeah, I like if I was going to lean anywhere, I like New Orleans as well. I just got to know if Lawrence is out or not because I think that changes the handicap if he plays. Even though he'd be hurt, I still think it changes the handicap. All right, so we got those Thursday night games out of there.
I would take a quick look though also.
Yeah,
at Alvin Kamara's rushing total under and look at the under. One thing that Jaguars is going to lean on is there is only 2 other teams better than them at stopping the run, and that's the Cleveland Browns, obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles, and then here comes the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are a run-stopping team. They lean heavy on that. I think they only average 73, 75 yards rushing a game. I think that came one time that they blew that over. So this is something I will take a look at. I think if you can get Kamara like under 60, I don't know where it is. What are you seeing it at?
50.
At 50? I think I saw that at 53.5, but maybe it might be tailing down. So maybe that might be
let me see. So I see 51. I'm seeing 51.5 on DraftKings.
Yeah. I want
the only reason why I like 50 is because never mind. That's for somebody else. Never mind.
But you're absolutely right, Diddy. The Jags, they play that 3-4. They line up that Polynesian guy. I know we'll be great with names.
It's like a Bears front.
Fatu Kasi. They put him head up over center, and he's kind of like a mini Jordan Davis, man. He controls both A gaps in the run game. They're just hard to run on.
Yeah, I think they run Nate. I think they run that Bears front. So you got the center. That
you talking about the 5-2?
No, it's like a. So you got the You got the center, the three techniques, and then you got the ends on the outside, and then you got the linebackers. So it's like the 3-4, like he's saying, but it's more of a Bears front.
It's
They
a
just
5-2.
play. They just play it. Yeah. No, they play a true 3-4, but they just definitely play a true zero tech nose
Zero
tackle.
tech. Right.
It's the 5-2.
Yeah. Yeah. But they don't. But they don't. They don't. One of their outside linebackers doesn't put their hand in the dirt. Which when I think of 5-2, I think of a
yeah.
I think of
Oh,
a
okay.
Josh Sweat
Yeah.
putting Josh Sweat or Brandon Graham putting their
Yeah.
hand in the dirt. These two guys are kind of like overhang.
Yeah, like the
I
only
know
D
what
lineman,
you
the
mean.
only D lineman there is the three technique and the nose.
But I will say Trayvon Walker's a bad dude. For an outside linebacker, he's a dude that can set the edge in the run game. He's not as good of a pass rusher as I think. I still think taking number 1 overall in front of Aiden Hutchinson is going to end up being a mistake.
Yeah,
But I
tough.
will say the one thing Walker's really good at is setting the edge for an outside linebacker. That dude's a menace in the run game.
I didn't think he was going to be an outside linebacker, to be honest with you. But
I agree. I thought he'd be better hand in the dirt like Brandon Graham. I think they're misusing him. That's my honest opinion.
yeah,
That's what
it
we did with
surprised
Brandon
me.
Graham. Remember that?
Yeah,
Back
but
there.
see, we were
We had
talking
that
about
motherfucker
Graham,
dropping
man.
back and pass.
But you know me. I was telling Sharp, I'm a big Graham fan. We've had this conversation. I'm a big
Yeah.
Graham fan. So
Time
for
for Graham to
somebody to
get
be able to get up and do that and still give you 4 sacks out of position, I say, hey, kudos to Brandon Graham. All right, we got more games to go. Tons of more games to go. We just did Thursday games. I do have a bet for this Cleveland Browns and Colts game. I don't know if Watson's playing. I think he kind of hinted at that he could play in a week. He could play tomorrow. He's getting better every single day.
Strain. So strain is micro. It's a micro tear. So it's like small. It's basically like getting a cut on the hand, a couple slashes on the hand of that muscle, and that's what a micro tear strain for the rotator.
A micro tear, you're saying?
I don't know. The line kind of suggested a little bit here, a -2.5, I think. Because it can't be -2.5. Who's their backup? It wasn't the dude from UCLA.
PJ
He
Tucker.
the
PJ Walker.
other guy play. Huh?
PJ Walker.
Yeah, PJ Walker. That's who it is. So
Yep.
do we think PJ Walker is a -2.5 favorite here? I think this is
Well,
Deshaun going to
heavy on
play.
their defense.
Yeah, for sure. And that's really where the handicap is going. We talked about it already. It's already the cat's out of the bag. The Cleveland Browns, statistically and from the eye test, are the best defense, in the league. So what I'm doing here, especially with a Gardner Minshew, journeyman, at best, does he have some starter qualities? Yes, but he's still a journeyman at the end of the day. With not a good roster here, Taylor doesn't look like he's rounding into form yet. Zach Moss got bottled up last week, and Minshew threw a couple picks, and I believe he's going to throw a couple more picks in this game. But what I really like is the team total under here for the Colts, getting at 19.5 under. I don't think they can score more than 20 points on this Cleveland team. Like I said, statistically across the board, Cleveland's the best defense in the league. I think they're going to have problems. Cleveland's going to run the ball. I know Kareem Hunt is somewhat banged up, but that backup forward looks good. He's not fast. He's not flashy, but he has great vision from what I can tell because he gets to the hole. He gets to the second level fast. So, yeah, give me under Colts 19.5. We're on the other side where the juice is, but I really like this bet. I feel like they're going to have a hard time trying to score more than 20 points on the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good play because I'm following that with that trend, and I'm looking at the under here, half unit play in Indianapolis. We're going to go under 41.5. I think this is going to be one of them small bottle games. Both teams kind of trying to figure out what they're going to be able to do offensively. So I just think it's going to be a lot of mistakes, more field goal type games. You might want to look over 3.5 field goals in this game. You'll be inside, indoors in Indianapolis. So you don't have to worry about any type of weather. So I think since it will be a tight game, you'll be getting more field goals. Can PJ Walker lead them to a few touchdowns? I don't know. He's athletic, right? But is it going to turn into points? I'm not really sure about that. So kind of what you're saying, if you don't think the Colts are going to be able to score, which I agree with you, I think that's a great play. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points on the board, period. So I'm going to go under half unit for 41.5 in this game.
That 41.5 is a good number because I see 40 right here. So you're getting the better of the number for sure. Under. All right. And that's a half unit play. What was the Jags under total? Was that just 1 unit?
That was your play. Oh,
No,
you're talking about,
Jags under
no. The
19
Jags,
and a half?
no. Jags under 19.5, you have, right?
Yeah.
No, that's going to be a 3 unit play for me.
Oh, shit. Look where you done started, Sharp. Fuck around with you.
Yeah, I just think that's an easy win there.
All right. Let's keep
We're
this
all going to
trade.
be watching that game. We are going to be watching that game tomorrow. Maybe I won't be watching that TU game.
Okay. So let's keep it going. Let me know what's your next game, 1:00 game. I don't have anything on the Washington or the Giants. Falcons and Tampa, I don't. I'm waiting for that line just dropped. I'm waiting for the player props for Diggs here. With no Gonzalez, New England's really struggled against the pass. They just struggled, period. And I mean, at this point, Diggs has almost averaged almost 100 yards receiving. So I'm waiting for that, but that hasn't dropped yet. Vegas or the Bears, anybody? I think Garoppolo's back on the injury report. How about your Lions, man?
You know
got
what
anything
I'm
on
waiting
these
for.
Lions?
You know what I'm waiting for, baby.
Yeah, you got anything on these Lions? This is a
Yeah.
weird
Let's
line,
go.
bro.
Fuck that line.
Fuck. Yo, all right. You know how many times we done said that, right? We haven't come on the other side of that, right? I'm wary of this game. I am so wary of this game.
You should be.
I think the line is right. I really
This
do.
line reminds me of when the Bills were favored and the Miami Dolphins were coming off that 70-point game, and you're thinking, how the heck is the Bills favored by 3? This reminds me of that. Like, there's a reason the Ravens are favored by 3. If anything, I think the Ravens might beat the brakes off them. I'm not going to bet it. I can't trust that, but I could see that happening.
Is this the letdown spout? Is this the letdown spot for Detroit?
Not me. Not me. We biting the kneecaps, baby. No, I do. I think what you're saying, the line is right. I think the line is telling you Baltimore Ravens here.
For sure.
For me, I believe in his defense, man. I believe in his defense, and I think they'll be able to kind of bottle up Jackson.
Okay.
And I think the weather's going to play a big impact in that. I think that's why I'm really heavily on this game. I think the weather's going
to be fine, right? I thought I looked at this.
The East Coast is going to be terrible. It's going to be like 15-mile-per-hour winds. So that's something we really got to look at.
But it's not like they throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, but if
Jacksonville, Jackson doesn't.
Right, but their defense is good against the run. So if they can't throw the ball down the field, they'll be able to kind of bottle this game up. So you're getting plus points. I'm taking Detroit regardless with the way they've been playing. Excellent football. Another thing too, Jared Goff throws the ball on a rope. Like it's not a lot of air to his passes. I don't know if you probably watch. I don't know if you watch a lot of Jared Goff's passes, but his passes are like very, very sharp.
Well, he doesn't have a strong arm. That was his knock in the Rams.
So for me, the weather for him ain't gonna be much of an impact. Although wind is terrible against the pass, right? But I think
I think it does mitigate Jameson Williams. Because I'm looking at the weather report. You are right. It's going to be 15 to 20 during that whole game.
Right.
It's going to be sunny. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be very, very windy. That is going to affect Jared Goff, in my opinion, more than it'll affect Lamar. Lamar has a bigger arm and bigger hands and does drive it better in the wind, in my opinion.
Okay. I don't really care too much about.
I don't want you to bet. I'm just going to be honest. I don't want you to bet this game. I don't.
That. I'm definitely betting that game. I don't care if it was sunny with no wind, 0.
I don't want you to bet this game, bro.
I'm not a big fan of Lamar Jackson throwing a rock anyway. But I think it would definitely benefit Jared Goff if it was good weather. But I don't think that the way Jared throws the ball, a lot of dinks and dunks, you got sure hands on the outside. Amon St. Brown, I mean, he's your sure hands. So if they do have to adjust, the only caveat is that Montgomery's going to be out. That's a big loss there.
And Gibbs is banged up. Jahmyr Gibbs is banged up.
Yeah, so
Yeah, there's no telling what Gibbs is at.
that's a big.
I know he
big,
practiced, but he's limited.
Yeah.
He was limited in practice today.
so those are my two doubts, and I'm riding with it, man. And there's 2 plays on this. I got the I'm gonna take the points here +3. I think it's gonna be a tight ball game.
Okay.
I don't see a lot of points being scored, so I'm touching that with the under also in this game. So we can go under 42.5. That's way too high for the way this game is going to be with this win at 20 miles per
Will they
hour.
let you do the old school teaser when you could do both of them? Nope, they won't let you do it. You remember when you used to be able to do that? You used to be able to tease the total and the spread in the same game.
Yeah,
They
they
just-
got yep.
They stopped doing that shit.
That was a cash cow for not them.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was a couple of years ago, but that was just like they just stopped doing that. So,
Yeah.
you said +3, Detroit, and then the total under, in Detroit and Baltimore. Did he talk to me? Why not the money line here?
I'm just feeding into the line. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, the line is telling you Baltimore. You guys are absolutely right about that. So
Yeah,
I just want to take the 3. The 3's there. If it was 2.5, like kind of what we talked about earlier on the NCAA podcast, I would definitely take the money line in that case in this situation.
yeah,
In probably most situations, I'm taking the money line at 2.5. But since I got the 3, I'm taking the 3. And I
yeah.
might even buy half a point. It's depending on what that juice is, but I have a point to get over the 3.5.
No, it's
Because
not
if they
rough,
are
no
going to win, they're not blowing out the Detroit Lions. I don't think so.
Let's see what it is here. 3.5. Actually, no, I'm
Probably
on the wrong
minus
side. Detroit
135, probably.
-136.
Yeah,
Close.
that's right. I was right.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
So I mean
Yeah.
that'd be one of the last minute things. I gotta wait to the game up to see how bad it is. If it's real bad, then I'll probably take the 3.5. But I think the 3 should be good.
Let me check on DraftKings if they have any props on this game, because I know, the god kicker Tucker. I mean, he's averaging like 4 kicks a game.
No, I wouldn't touch no kicks in this game, brother.
Oh
At
yeah,
four-
with
at
the
25, 20, 15, 20. No, hell no. They're not gonna kick the ball. Especially in that
Yeah.
stadium. Bro, that stadium is not good. When
You
it's
don't think
windy.
Tucker will kick the ball? I think it's a big advantage for Baltimore. I think that's why the line is somewhat the way it is too.
I think 15, which is fine. If it plays, I mean, if Tucker's going to kick, cool. I'm okay with the 3. I'm definitely okay with the 3 if this is going to be kicking game. So I'm good with that. But I
don't mean that it's going to be a kicking game. I just mean the line probably leaning 3. In that, I think the books are thinking that if this game comes down to a field goal, there's a better chance that Tucker will make it than the Lions kicker will make it. If the game was on the line and say it was 40, 45 into the wind, like probably the only kicker making that is Justin Tucker, if
Right.
that makes sense. Like
I'm
that would be the only advantage.
I'm a big Justin Tucker fan. But I think you were.
Yeah.
I think Nate was looking at trying to do a kicking prop, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But I would
I
think
wouldn't do no props on kicking.
he wouldn't. He's not like I'm thinking like Elliott. He's gonna be at 1.5, but he's definitely gonna be at 2.5.
Yeah.
There's no way that Justin Tucker's at 1.5.
Then if it is, then look at the plus money on that. Like if you're going to take that, only take it at plus money because there's no way I would trust a kicker to go over 2.5 field goals in a game that's going to be. And like Sharp said, if it's going to be any kicker, you would think he can do it, which I believe he can. But it's still like you're on the game, you're on the sideline, you're thinking like, damn, as a coach, do you send your kicker out if you're at the 40-yard line? Or
If it's Tucker, yes, for sure. Justin Tucker. If his name's Justin Tucker, you're sending him out.
Yeah, but how many times
For
are you
sure.
doing that?
As many times. It took him what? He had 5 kicks last game, right?
Yeah,
6
and you don't want
games?
to know why he had 5 kicks last game? Because we didn't kick the ball the game before against the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why he had.
Yeah, that's right.
He was kicking every 4th down, 4th and short, 4th and an inch. Justin was out there. Yeah, he learned his motherfucking lesson. I know that. But it was a beautiful day that day though too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the one affects the kicking game and just anything else. But
15 to
like, I
20 is
mean,
a lot.
yeah, 2.5. Yeah, for sure,
That's a lot of wins.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but the line screams Baltimore. It just does.
To me, what I'm looking for in that game, I was kind of thinking it's a tight end game. I haven't seen Laporta's prop drop yet. I might wait a little closer to game day to fire on these, but I was looking at Mark Andrews. This is a lean right now, not an official play. I'll probably put out a short. 53.5 looks pretty tasty.
Yeah, I was looking at that too because so for people who are watching, we have to kind of shop around, right? You should always, honestly, I know I haven't said that in a couple weeks, but you should shop around for the best lines that you can find. These are just the sports books that we're using, but definitely shop around. But right now, because we're doing this so early on a Wednesday, the props haven't all come out yet. You know, still getting information about practice, who's going to be ready, who's not, et cetera, et cetera. So on DraftKings right now, there are some props on this game. So Mark Andrews is right now at 53.5, and that does look kind of enticing, because Lamar's passing prompt is over 222. So I know Aguilar's been getting a little bit of more action than typical. Zay Flowers, I think he's gotten just a lot of receptions, not so much yards, but it always goes through Andrews. If they're going to win, Andrews is going to have a decent game. So I do agree there that Andrews would be the side. And then I think I might put these guys in a teaser too. I just can't ignore the line.
Like I said, I'm gonna wait on Sam Laporta. Like I said, I think it's gonna be hard for Jared Goff to throw to Jamison Williams, especially when they're going into the wind. I do think Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna be able to win underneath, but I also think Sam Laporta in that 10 to 15 yard range, security blanket, with especially without David Montgomery, is gonna be a guy they're gonna use to move the chains. So when Sam Laporta's props come out, I am gonna take a close look at that. So keep an eye out on a short. I'll probably have some props in this game.
Cool.
And shout out to my boy Don who always checks us out. Very good friend of the show. I know he gonna like this take. Go Lions, baby.
Don't do it. So it sounds so terrible in my
My
ears.
guy Don.
It sounds so terrible in my ears. That's a grown man doing that.
Sidebar: Laporta was limited in practice today. Just a heads up.
Okay.
I think
that's
probably
good
the
to know.
same
Again,
injury.
yeah.
Probably the same injury from last week too, but he played last week, so he's
Mhm.
probably just taking precaution.
So I want to bet this Steelers Rams game, and this is until it gets to almost 100 yards, it's an auto bet for me. I don't care who's in at quarterback, as long as Cooper Kupp is on the field. I just gotta bet it, but it has not dropped yet as of yet. So he was at 86 or 83 last week. I suspect him to either be the same or maybe like 92. But sooner or later, he's going to get to a point where he's at 100 yards. Kind of like Justin Jefferson, right? Justin Jefferson is at 100 yards
Mhm.
almost every game. So until that happens, I'm betting that over. So you can pretty much lock me down and write me down for that. But it's not out yet. So we're going to have to wait on that bet for now.
Porter Jr. gonna lock his ass up.
Yeah, right.
Watch.
Yeah, I don't know because it's hard to lock up Cooper Kupp because they do the bunch formation. So if you go,
I'm just
there's
joking.
no
That
way
was
to.
a joke, Sharp.
You know what I mean, though? Like, it's hard to press man Cup because they do the reduced splits bunch formation. You really got to go zone and kind of go 4-by-3 and cover them that way, designate a double. If you go one-on-one, you'll get lit up.
Yeah, I was just joking. I just, just bullshit.
But I will say, Porter Jr.'s been phenomenal this year, especially in any man-to-man situation, which we knew he was at Penn State. His zone coverage skills still lack a little bit, but his man coverage skills are phenomenal. So I honestly, that goes with what Nate. You kind of almost have to play a little zone to cover how the McVay's Rams use that 3-by-1 set. You got to go zone, and that's not Porter's strong suit. So I'm with Nate here. When this drops, you got to take Cooper Kupp.
Got to. We're at the 4:00 games already. Did I miss any 1:00 games that anybody got any action on? Pushing the action button.
All my single plays are done.
Okay. How about you, Sharp? Any other 1:00 action?
No, sir.
All right, we're getting to the 4:00. Diddy said his plays are done. We talked about this earlier. Sharp kind of alluded to it a little bit. They looked at it, and I just really liked it. Almost kind of an auto bet here. They're in the same division. These teams know each other well. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers for my next best bet. Chiefs are minus 5.5. Total is 47.5. I gotta go with Kelsey. Gotta go with Kelsey and his over here. 75.5. He's hit this 3 out of the last 4, I think it was. Let me double check that. I'm sorry, I'm way off. 4 out of the last 5. He's hit this facing the Chargers. 2 games at home. He had 7 catches for 104. And then the one he didn't hit, he had 5 catches for 51 yards last year. But the last time they played, he had 6 catches for 115 yards and 3 touches. So he does work against the Chargers. He's got a full season. He's played the Chargers 17 games. And over 17 games, he's got 88 catches and 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's a full season against this team in his career already, and putting up big numbers. So he's the number 1 target, best tight end in football. Numbers are a little bit high, I think. But once him and Mahomes kind of get going, and he sits in that zone that the Chargers play, 10 yards, 15 yards, break a tackle, 25 yards. Give me Travis Kelce over 75.5 yards passing. All light plays for me this week. The Travis Kelce bet is going to be a 1-unit bet. The Colts play is a 1-unit bet. Nothing too crazy so far this week. All right.
So I'm right there with you. We talked about it before the pod. I do think sometimes this game can be a little kind of, as Diddy says, boxy in that sometimes it's hard to get yards. I do think sometimes this matchup turns into more of a rock fight than you think. Sometimes it is a shootout, but there have been more than one occasions with Herbert and Mahomes where it turns into a rock fight. That being said, I love in this particular matchup, I love Kelce over 6.5 catches. That's what we saw it on, right? Is that what you had it on at FanDuel? Because it's not out on DraftKings.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So the last 2 weeks since his ankle's kind of getting better, obviously. He's getting 11 targets, 9 targets, 9 targets. He just loves this matchup. You've already alluded to it. You can go back to nearly every game. He averages 10 targets, essentially 10 targets for 7.5 catches and 95 yards against this team. There's no reason to think otherwise. With the receivers coming in and out, they just added Mecole Hardman. Some of these young receivers, I don't think Mahomes trusts. And you just know a big division game here. Every close 3rd and 4th down, it's going to Kelce. So unless he has a really bad game where he's got some drops, I think Kelce will cruise over 6.5 catches here. So it's not a huge bet for me. This is only a 2-unit prop bet just because this is like a history repeats itself bet for me. And I love the 6.5 catches, and I like that you're on yards. So let's hit them both.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'm going to add to that because I forgot that this was a play I wanted to put in last week, and I stayed away from it. I think the line is trying to catch up, but it hasn't yet. And I think that's on Rashee Rice for Kansas City Chiefs. I think last week it was at 2.5 receptions. I think he's hitting over that 2.5 receptions. I want to say over the last 4 games, he's hit over that 2.5. And matter of fact, he only missed 2.5 one time so far this season. So if it's still at 2.5, it might be juiced a little high. If you can find maybe a 3, I would take it over 3. So definitely look at Rashee Rice. He's definitely on my radar for prop bets. And I can't wait to see what his line opens up to. Put some dollars on it. Because Rashee Rice gets those quick little stop routes, quick little screen routes, those quick little, crossing routes. I think they find a way to probably give him the ball.
Yeah, it hasn't dropped yet. It's just the stars so far: Keenan Allen, Palmer, and Kelce.
That's funny you say that because all the props, literally, I just refreshed, and all the props in that game just dropped.
Yes. What is it?
For Rashee Rice, you want yards?
No, receptions.
It is. Oh, they didn't give out receptions. They just dropped all the yards. They didn't drop receptions yet. Just the yards are out. His yards
probably what, 33 and a half, 33, 35,
35 and a half.
30 what? 5.5. 35 and a half. You
This
said,
one.
right?
35 and a half.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's what I just said. Yeah, he gets a lot of the short stuff, so I think he can get over there. But he kind of gets that short stuff. I like his reception though. And if it's 2.5, max play,
So I'm
especially
gonna.
against this Chargers defense. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm gonna switch my play. Go ahead and get it on DraftKings. Kelsey's 72 and a half. So with the
Yeah, I
props,
was gonna. Yep. Go ahead.
yeah, with the props, you guys got to understand the yards matter. Obviously, they matter because you want to hit the over, but a yard is huge in props. So you can get caught by the hook. So if you can find the better number, and if it's 3 yards is major in a prop. Going from
Very.
75 and a half to 72. These guys they get catches and they run backwards. Remember that. Like it's not always forward. They catch a screen, they can lose yards. There's a lot of different things that can happen. Kelsey's a little bit funky. He likes to do the little hook and ladder after he gets a catch too as well. So yeah, you always want to get the best in line, but for props, absolutely you want to get the best line possible that you can find. So let's update this bet. It's not 75 and a half, 72 and a half over there on DraftKings for 1 unit. So yeah, it looks like the props are starting to come out a little bit more now, so which is good. We'll keep it moving. Did they drop Cooper Cups yet, Sharp, on DraftKings?
Nope.
Motherfuckers. They don't want to give it to us, man. They don't want to give it
No,
to
they're
us.
gonna wait as long as they can. They don't want any early action on that.
Jesus, they don't want no smoke with that shit. All right. Let's keep it moving. Still in the 4:00 games. Anybody got anything with Cardinals in Seattle?
The rest of them, like I said, are just teasers.
Teasers. Sharp, any more
Um,
straight plays? Or no? Are you done with straight plays?
No, I'm done with straight plays.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. Sunday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Miami Dolphins. Eagles are favorite -2.5. Total is 51.5. Money line is -142. Everybody's all over the place with this game. Diddy, I know you're on the other side of this, not in terms of betting, but just on the other side of how you look at this game. Talk to us and how. I'm going to do a curveball for you. How do the Eagles win this game?
You know what, Sharp? Do me a favor. You could take this.
All right, Sharp. I'll switch it for you, Sharp, because you're on the Eagles heavy. How do Miami Dolphins win this game?
Well, I think the Dolphins, it probably starts. This is going to sound crazy. I know everyone will be talking about Lane Johnson, but I think it actually starts with Bradley Roby. I think we had really trouble covering the slot, especially in the first half of the Rams game since Avonte Maddox has been out. And then in the second half, they started trusting Bradley Roby. He's a veteran. He played really well in that second half in a 4-by-3 look. You kind of call it a box defense, and that's kind of how they slowed down Cooper Kupp. And he was the guy that was reading the traffic and making sure he wasn't getting picked. Our young corners, that was happening to them. Well, we cut Josiah Scott for a reason to start the year. Now he is back with the team. They have since released Mario Goodrich, and they have replaced him with Josiah Scott, who does know the defense. So, but my fear is that if Bradley Roby can't play, Josiah Scott is not Bradley Roby. Is he smarter than Mario Goodrich and Eli Ricks at this point in his career? Yes. But if he's having trouble figuring out his, because the thing about Miami, it's very similar to Sean McVay's offense. They do a lot of motion pre-snap, and it changes the rules. They go from 3-by-1 to 2-by-2, and if you're in a zone look, and especially the nickel defender, you have to know all your keys, and you can't blow assignments. And I do have a fear that if it's Josiah Scott, we could be in trouble in the slot.
All right. Diddy, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. Tell me how the Birds will win this game. You were talking about running the ball.
Yeah, I think that they get back to their identity. Obviously we know that Miami has an electrifying offense. They're the number one offense in the NFL, averaging close to over 500 yards per game. Um, yeah, I mean, probably three or four of the fastest players in the NFL in that offense. But to kind of Sharp's point, as we talked in the background, the Dolphins' defense isn't really that solid, so we should be able to move the ball, and hopefully we can find a way to get that ball in the end zone. I know that we can pass the ball within the 20s and the 20s, but when we get to the red zone, ultimately our red zone offense has been sucky unless we're doing a tush push getting into the end zone for a touchdown that way. So I think the best way we can do is control the ball, right? Limit the opportunity for Miami to stay on the field, give our defense that's been in and out as far as injury wise, as much time as they need, because those D backs will need it if we're not getting a rush on Tua this week. So the best way to do is play small ball, control the ball, limit the turnovers. Obviously, we know turnovers is what killed us last week, on top of other things, but that was one of the main factors. Limit the turnovers, cannot give the Dolphins second chances, and most importantly, score the football when we have the opportunity. Please don't come in this game thinking you have to chase points because we're playing the Miami Dolphins. Just play your game. When you chase points, we've seen it with a lot of teams, especially over these last few years. It sometimes come back and bites them in the ass. So just be who you are, get what you can get, trust your players, and let's figure it out. But like you said, I think a lot of guys are on, or a lot of the sharp guys are on the Philadelphia Eagles here. This is not a
Yeah.
play for me. I'm not touching this game. I'm just not touching it. Um, but I'm rooting for everybody. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan. I root for the Eagles to make it happen.
Yeah, I do actually have a play in this game. Um, so I am actually going with a player prop that dropped. Um, I think with it's not even on this side. It's actually on DraftKings side. Let me switch this so we can just see it. I think that with the corner, Slade coming back, not saying that he'll be able to, you know, hold Tyreek down, but I do think he'll be able to at least slow him down. He's obviously one of the better man corners. But I think who's been having the real issue this year, or just been getting the spotlight put on him even more, is Bradbury, and he's struggled. So I like Waddle here to have a good day. I like Waddle over 60 and a half. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. I think he's more like a 70, 80 yard guy. I mean, we saw what Overlay did uh, last game. And that's just him with Zach Wilson. Now you got MVP candidate with Tua throwing the ball, and then you got Hill, Mostart, and other weapons to worry about, and you kind of have to leave Waddle 1-on-1 with Bradbury. And I think he might cook him a little bit this game. So give me Jalen Waddle over 60 and a half yards, and that is actually going to be a little bit more. I'm going to do that as a 1.5 unit play.
I think what might make there might be an impact in this game. Like I said, the weather on the East Coast is going to be a little crazy, so that might be able to slow down the Miami Dolphins also on them running to throw the ball really, really deep, especially in our stadium, which is open and one side of the field. So the wind will be howling in that stadium. So that's an opportunity there too for the Philadelphia Eagles to take advantage of.
I mean, the best thing I think the Eagles can do is what we've seen them do. Those long methodical
Drives.
drives, those 7, 8 minute drives that chew up clock and
Mhm.
chew up clock. And they've been really good. And we see that at least once a game that they do that. And they do come away with points. So that's their best bet, I think, in this game. And the key to victory is just continuous long methodical drives. What's concerning for me is Smith is not practicing. He all of a sudden came up with a hamstring injury. They said he had a hamstring and thigh injury last week as well, but now it's like he's not even practicing. So I wonder if he even plays. If he doesn't play,
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe that's why we picked up Julio Jones. Could that be a reason? Maybe the hamstring's a little more than we think it is, and they're not saying anything.
It's possible. But I mean, Julio off the street. I mean, he can only do so many routes, out routes, dig routes. You know what I mean? He's not going to know the tree. Well, he knows the tree, but he's just not going to know the plays. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he was talking big stuff. They asked him, "You got anything left?" He's like, "What? What do you mean got anything left? You serious? You know what I mean? What kind of question is that? Of course I got something left. You know, I'm happy to be here, but I come here to dominate." I was like, "Oh shit, I don't remember hearing Julio talking like that."
No, he hasn't.
I
And
mean,
he hasn't shown
I know
them.
he was been around the block a little bit, but I don't remember hearing Julio talk about dominate and came in here with that mentality. And there's some Bama guys out there too. You know, Smith probably looks up to him. When was Julio? Julio's what, 3 years ahead of Smith? 4 years almost?
Oh, more than that.
More than that, right?
7 or 8 years ahead of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And that team was special, right? Julio, I'm trying to think who else was on that team. Thought it was another receiver on that team when Julio was in Bama.
Julio played with AJ McCarron, I think. And I think that was his quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. But I like the takes. You know, I like the to kind of defend the other side of it. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're good. I don't know if we.
Oh,
I mean, for my Eagles, this is this is my probably biggest bet of the week.
Birds.
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 Bird gang.
There are some things that concern me a little bit. The fact we signed Josiah Scott, this was going to be a 10-unit play for me, but Josiah, like I just talked about, the reason the Dolphins could win, the fact we signed Josiah Scott to the active roster and not to the practice squad roster, that concerns me with Bradley Roby. That tells me that maybe Roby's not going to be able to go for a couple weeks, and they need somebody to help immediately for more than 1 week. And I just talked about that could be issues. So I do like your Waddle play. I think that helps. I think he's going to be tough to handle in the slot with Josiah Scott. That being said, I just think the Eagles, they want to pass, but occasionally when they get embarrassed, they go back to what they do best, and they are a more efficient running team than they are a more efficient passing team. And this is going to be the matchup that lends to the fact that you need to run and not pass. I do think even if Devontae Smith can't play, I think Julio Jones is a better blocker, much better blocker. So if we're going to go maybe some more 12 personnel, get Goddard and Stoll in there and reduce splits and get A.J. Brown and Julio Jones in there, I like our rushing attack a little better. Let's give Lane Johnson, if he's banged up, or let's give Jack Driscoll some help. And let's give 2 tight ends on each side of the tackles to make sure that Hurts has time. Let's run the ball. I'm looking at DeAndre Swift, 59.5 rushing yards. That's got to be over. If the Eagles are going to cover, DeAndre Swift's got to go over 60 yards rushing, no matter what. They got to stick to the run. In my opinion, DeAndre Swift's got to have – this is going to be like Tampa Bay. Gainwell's got to have 30 or 40 yards rushing. DeAndre Swift's got to have 80 or 90 yards rushing. Hurts has got to have 30 to 40 rushing. And you got to pick and choose your spots to go play action deep off that. This has got to be a max protect, shrink the game, use your home field advantage, limit the possessions Miami's got, and then use every pass rusher you got to get to Tua. I wouldn't worry so much about dropping into a shell. This would be a game I'd actually attack. You gotta come downhill against Tua. If you watch how the Bills beat the crap out of them, they did not sit back. They challenged the receivers at the line of scrimmage. They rerouted them, and then they attacked Tua. And Tua's a small quarterback. He's not tall. He can't stand tall. If a 6'6" Jordan Davis or if a 6'5" Fletcher Cox or if a 6'5" Jalen Carter is busting up the A gap or B gap, he can't move in order to beat our ends and break the pocket. We don't have to worry about that. And he can't step up. He's tiny. We got to make him retreat. He doesn't have a big arm. This is outdoors, into the wind. This has got to be a defensive line game. Like if we win, our defensive line's got to set us free, and I believe it's going to happen. I love the Eagles here -2.5. This is just, you got to bet the Eagles. You got to take the Eagles here, and you got to take DeAndre Swift and trust the Eagles will run.
I like it. I agree with everything you said. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully, especially from the run game, that we definitely get there as well. I'm always worried to take unders, but I'm looking at this Mostart and Hurts under. I mean, they're gonna try and run the ball, but I mean, I can't. I don't. Who's been able to even get over 50 yards against us? Like one running back.
We just can't allow Mostert to get into the bus one into the seams, right? He's a home run hitter. Like he's kind of like the handicap I gave with the Travion Henderson for Ohio State. He's like 2 yards, 2 yards, 80 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 60 yards. We just cannot let that 60-yard play happen on us, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. They hunt explosive plays in the run game as much as they do the passing game. They lead the NFL in explosive runs. It's not just passing.
Yeah, I'm looking back at all the running backs we faced, and the only one who's went over 50 yards was what's his name, Kerryon Williams, and he had 53.
Tough
Like
sledding to run the ball, man.
yeah, it's tough
Mhm.
sledding run the ball against us. I mean, collectively, people have had over 50 yards, but I'm just saying one individual running back has not had 50 yards on us as of yet, and I don't think that's going to change this week. I would lean here to Mostart. You know what? Give me Mostart under 48.5 yards for half a unit.
Yeah. So my Swift play, just so we're clear, my Swift over 59.5 was 2 units, and my Eagles minus 2.5 is 5 units.
Let's do a half unit. Eagles.
Let's get it.
5
Let's
units.
get it. Let's get it.
All right.
And I want to say, I hope the MVP of the week is our greenskeeper. I sure hope he hasn't been mowing the grass, and I sure hope he's let that sprinklers go a little bit longer this week. We need that grass about an extra inch tall.
15. That's 2 units. All right. All right. So those are the plays of the week. Let's get to the teasers, parlays, etc., and then get everybody out of here. Get back, get to bed. Diddy, teaser god himself. What you got, bro?
All right, let's take a look at it, man. Here we go. We're going to start with a 2-team teaser, 7-point.
Mm-hmm.
A little upset because last week, man, we got smacked right in the face with the Eagles and the 49ers. They both completely collapsed. And the worst part about it, they both had an opportunity to cover and win those games in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of that. But this week, we're going to do a 2-team teaser, 7-point. We're going to take Buffalo at New England. That line is -9. We're going to get them down to -2. I think this is a good spot for Buffalo here. Just playing off of the short week, not the short week. It was Sunday Night Football, and kind of had a big fight in that game. I think they kind of get right here against this New England team that's really trying to figure out their identity. And the first time that you see New England ever question Bill Belichick as their head coach of the football team, and I think that's going to continue to affect them throughout this season. Is they're unsure about the direction they're going to be going in the future. Mac Jones, Jesus. I mean, I don't know what he's been doing over these past 3 weeks, but he's been a turnover machine. I think Buffalo will be able to get after him. Obviously, New England's defense can keep things close, and it could be a little difficult for Josh Allen. But if Josh Allen doesn't play hero ball and play to his strengths, and that's to his players on the outside, and not trying to do too much, I think he'd be able to win this game easily. I'm going to just tease it down to get up to -2. We're going to put that with a Monday Night Football game. We're going to go back to my San Francisco 49ers, man. I know they got a couple injuries, a couple question marks. This line is telling for me, though. It's still sitting at -6.5. Not sure if Christian McCaffrey can get it going, but I think they get a good week of practice without some of those starters and see what they can do moving the ball. I think they'll be able to do that. I think the defense steps up. Greenlaw didn't play last week. I think he was hobbled too, so hopefully they'll be able to get him back this week. Going into Minneapolis is in the same boat as New England. They're looking to possibly be a fire sale. I know they claim that Kurt is staying for the rest of the season, but you never know. I think they'll be looking to get some guys out of there. I know they have Delano Hunters on the blocks for trade options. So you can tell they're kind of like teetering on what they're going to do with their franchise. While San Fran, after that loss, they need to come and bounce back here. I see a good win here for San Francisco 49ers. We're going to bring them with the Buffalo Bills in a 2-team teaser for 2 units. The next teaser is going to be a 3-team teaser, which is 10 points. We're going to go with, I'm so sorry, I think I moved the wrong team. But anyway, we're going to go with Kansas City and Los Angeles Chargers. We're going to take the Chargers going to Kansas City at plus 5.5. We're going to tease them up 10 and take that to 15.5. This is just one of those games I just feel like and it's so crazy because I hate betting Charger games, and I don't like that Staley as a head coach. I think everybody knows in this podcast I've always talked about Staley. I just think this is a good spot for the Chargers to stay within the 15.5. I think it's a great number right there. They kept every game close all season, whether they win or not. I think Kansas City will be able to obviously win this ball game, but I think it'll be closer than what people may be thinking. I think the 5.5 is actually there too. I think you can probably take it straight up 5.5, but I'm going to just tease it up plus 10 points and make sure that we get that victory of 15.5. We're going to take that with the Sunday night football game with Miami versus Philadelphia. Miami plus 2.5. We're going to tease that up to 12.5. I like Miami to be in this ball game. Possibly Miami could win this game. So I'm going to be sure and take that up to 12.5 for me, for Miami. I just can't see the Philadelphia Eagles blowing out Miami Dolphins here. Although the spot says it is, I know Sharp is really big on the Philadelphia Eagles. But just give me the points. I love the points. And my last bet I had to jump it out because I had the Rams there. But I think I'm going to take that with the Detroit Lions at plus 3 and at plus 3. We're going to bring it up to 10. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. You already heard my spill on that versus the Baltimore Ravens in a tight ball game. That'll be my 3-team teaser.
Plus 13.
Sorry, plus 13. Yes.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, Sharp.
I got one more. Sorry, the team total. I always try to do a team total.
My bad.
No,
The
my
teaser
bad.
guide. My bad.
I'm not actually looking at the camera. I'm just looking at my sheet.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to really just yell out plays. So we're going to go Thursday night football game. Jacksonville and New Orleans. The line was at 39.5. We're going to take it up to 49.5 and go under. New Orleans is one of the best defenses in the NFL, playing against a Jacksonville team. Obviously, we talked about this earlier, that don't know if their quarterback will be at the helm for them tomorrow. So I like the under there. We're going to take it up to 49.5 and go under. We're going to go Detroit, Baltimore. Obviously, we just talked about the weather being an impact. I like this game going under also, taking 42.5 and going up to 52.5 and going under to 52.5. I think this ball will be won on the ground. Baltimore won't be able to pass. It's going to be hard for Detroit to pass. It'll just be one of those games that's going to be on the ground, and I think it'll be a short game. So 52.5 is too many points, so we're going to bring that down. And then the last game is going to be Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers again. The line is at 48.5. We're going to go and bring that down to 38.5 and go over the total. Both these teams get in the 20s in this game. This is an easy cover for me. I love this this total teaser. This will be a 2 to 3 unit play. I'm definitely tired.
This is a 3-team teaser, right?
This is a 3-team teaser for 2 to 3 units.
And the first 2 were under, and then the over.
Yep, under, over.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, Sharp, what you got?
All right, 4-team super teaser, 14, 13 points. Kind of a hedge with a little bit of a hedge here to my biggest bet. We're going to go window shopping and see if we can hit a big window in this game here. So I take Miami Dolphins up to 15.5. You take the Chargers up to 18.5. You take a game we already talked about. I mentioned a little earlier, Thursday night. You take the Jags up to 53, and you take the under. And then last but not least, we talked about it. It's going to be wind. There's a lot of injuries on both sides. You take the Baltimore Ravens and the Lions game up to 56, and you take the under. This is a 5-unit teaser for me.
All right.
Nice.
I think that game's going to be led by both defenses. I think it's low scoring. I do think Baltimore wins and covers, maybe wins by 4. But I do like the Lions in a teaser. I like that you gave that out. I could see them keeping it close for sure, and I do like it to be lower scoring.
Nice. And I think I'll bring us home. I got one teaser, 3-team teaser. Give me the Chargers. I think everybody's talked about this, but the one thing I think nobody said yet is Kansas City is just terrible at covering. Just don't cover the number. So give me 2 touchdowns. I think this game is closer, probably a touchdown, especially with Eckler getting back in the fold. Then give me I know Kyler Murray was practicing, but he's not going to play. Give me Seattle. It's going to be hard for the Cardinals to win at the 12. It's going to be a rainy day in Seattle, but give me Seattle to win at +2.5. I like that bet there. Geno hasn't looked like Geno from last year, but I think they're still good enough to beat the 1-5 Arizona Cardinals. I'll be really shocked if the Cardinals go in Seattle and beat Seattle. And then for my last play, got to do it. It just makes too much sense for me. The line is telling me Baltimore, but just to protect myself a little bit, give me Baltimore. I get them +7. I don't think they lose by a touchdown. We've all talked about this game being under, so that tells me that this game is going to be close. So give me Baltimore +7. That is my 3-team 10-point teaser. Really upset that they took the Travis Kelce. So here's the thing, folks, before we get out of here, that I want to let you guys know. When we drop these numbers, I want to say, and you guys quote me on this if you think I'm wrong, almost 85% of the time the numbers change by tomorrow on the number we like. Almost 85% of the time the numbers change. So if you guys are just watching this or seeing this, hopefully you get the best side of the number. For whatever reason, they took the Kelce over down. I was trying to put the bet in so I can have it locked in at 72.5. All I see is the under, but the over is locked in right now. So make sure when you guys listen to this, make sure you guys are getting the better of the number when you can, because this is the reason why we're dropping the number, especially for these prop bets. They're so important. So with that being said, it's a late night. Everybody's a little bit tired. We give our time, we give our efforts to do this, to make sure that we give you guys the best that we can and make sure that we do it right. So if you're still watching this, if you see this, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thousands of people over time and time watch this video. Let's run up the numbers and the subs to make sure that we're pushing the brand to new heights. And it's all because of people who watch the show and give us their support. And we win your money. So ain't nothing wrong with that, right? That's the key. This is not just like talking and just giving you bets. Like, we're winning you money. So
as I say that, here's my black cat for good luck.
That is good luck. Black cats are good luck. It's a myth that they're not.
So. I will say, I've been cooking with grease in the NFL, and you boys been cooking with grease in college. So if you guys aren't pounding that like and subscribe and listening, and you gotta follow both of them, because these two are cooking in college, and I'm doing all right here in the NFL. So you got to listen to our plays, man. I feel really good about this week. Usually, like Castellano said, we respond to getting punched in the mouth. So this should be a good week for all three of us.
Yeah. Great way to end the segment. Just to even add to this, I mean this with all due respect to everybody watching. You either win with us or you watch us win. It's either one of the two. It's really what it comes to. You either jump on the money train, you either watch us win. You either win with us or you watch us win. It's really that simple. So those are the homies, part of the money team. You guys will see also Renzo. Make sure you check out his best plays and his daily plays coming up. He will be getting some basketball. I will be getting him on the show. So we got another handicapper coming. So make sure you check out his shorts. But those are the team. That's the team. That's the money team. I'm Moss Money. That's Diddy. That's Sharp. This is NFL Week 7. Happy hunting. Happy betting. Let's go. Moss Money. MoneyPot Podcast.
Go Phils.
If you're seeing this video right now, that means you made it to the end. So congratulations. You are now almost officially part of the money team.
MoneyPot.
How do you become a part of the money team? If you're new to the channel, you have to hit the subscribe button. We want to blow this brand up. It's not me versus you or us versus them. It's us versus the sports book. us versus the Bookman, aka the Boogeyman. So make sure you're on the winning side and the winning team. I got bonus content up here for you guys to choose from. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Moss Money. This is MoneyPot. This is MoneyPot betting.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. Let's go.